please Larry Work. Larry, you have a presentation.
Hi, Bob, and good evening, everyone. Happy Father's Day, all you dads. I'm a father of four, and I spent most of my childhood at home without a father. And I very much enjoy not having that happen in my family life right now. And my kids right now have just moved into their 20s, and this is kind of a fun payback time. Still a little touch and go, but we're starting to be pals and enjoy each other right now. So I'd like to introduce the Father Figure of the Year, 2011, Mr. Michael Brady. To give Michael Brady his award, we have our essayist, the 4th grade Bridgeport Catholic Academy youth. His name is Jonathan Aliz.
Also, along with Larry, I'd like to mention that Mark Kramer and Jim Mullen are presenters in this category as well.
I chose my cousin Michael because since I was little, he has been important. He has been an important part of my life. He was in college when I was born, but when he breaks from college, he will come and visit me. I remember when I was 4 years old, my cousin taught me how to pretend shave. He took out his shaving cream and put it on my face. He came to all my sporting events. When I was in preschool, Michael attended the Father's Day breakfast and read to the class. Now that I'm older, Michael is still available when I need him. He interacts and plays games with me. He makes time to come and root me on during my basketball games. Even when he is swamped with work, I sleep over at his house and we play video games. Sometimes he includes me in activities with his friends to make me feel like one of the big guys. But he also talks to me about important education in my life. When I have a question, I can ask him anything. He doesn't make me feel stupid. He tells me no question is a stupid question. That's how people learn from asking questions. We are both Cubs fans, and Michael lets me hang out with his friends to watch games. Michael graduated from law school and is a lawyer. We all know they are very busy people. We don't get to see that much of each other, but I know I could still call him. When Michael got married, he let me be his grandparent. He told me he couldn't get married without me being part of his wedding. That made me feel good. Sometimes he tells me I'm wrong for being mean to my sister, but Michael never gets mad at me. Even though Michael isn't my real father, I know I will
name is Mark Kramer. I'm the Secretary of IFI. I'm going to be presenting the runner-ups in this category for Jim Mullen, who's sitting over here to the right. We're very honored to have Jim here. And he actually, I'm not going to embarrass you, but he forgot your glasses, so I'm here to read the names. It's tough to follow up one of the readers here, but I'm going to try to do my best. So the runner-up Father of the Year, essayist coming from the 5th grade is Gabrielle Gutierrez. Also a runner-up to the Father Figure of the Year is essayist Azaria Wade from St. Angelica.
Next, John Shikata is going to come up, please, John, and introduce the grandfather of the year.
How about a big hand for Bob Jordan? Not only is Bob Jordan at the pinnacle of broadcasting in Chicago, but I have to say that your offspring are doing a very good job as well. So congratulations. I am honored to be here as the immediate past president of the Illinois Fatherhood Initiative. And I'm going to go off script just for a second because the past presidents of this organization have a really strong bond, and I'd like to acknowledge them. First of all, we would not be here tonight but for our founder and our first president, Mr. David Hirsch. Will you please stand? Our second president took the baton from our founder, David, was Mr. Jim Paglia. Jim, please stand. Our third president, Mr. Ken Slapika, is not here tonight, but he did a great job. Our third president is now the CEO and publisher of the Chicago Tribune, our good friend, Mr. Tony Hunter. Len Kennedy, and of course Kevin Kerber. Let's give Kevin a great round of applause. I am here to introduce the runner-up for the Grandfather of the Year. And just from a personal perspective, my mother and father were divorced when I was young, and my grandfather raised me. So I don't think I'm alone with respect to how important a grandfather can be in someone's life. My grandfather was not only my grandfather, but he was my father. So, to the Grandfathers of the Year, I'd like to introduce Mr. Alan Wilson as a runner-up Grandfather of the Year with essayist Dallas Hilliard. Dallas is in the 3rd grade at the Hickory Bend School in Glenwood, Illinois. Let's give them a great round of applause. And with that, I guess I turn it over to, boy, what a great mayor he was. I'm sorry. Oh, I have a couple more, sorry. Make sure I don't screw this up. Do it all? Oh, I'll do it all. I get to do it all, this is fun. The second runner-up is Mr. Rick Tomaska, an SAS Talent Ethos. Talent is a first grader in Goodwood Grove School in Homer Glen. Congratulations. Good job. Atta girl. Let's give him a round of applause. And now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. It's with great pleasure for me to announce Mr. Gil Sprague as the grandfather, 2011 Grandfather of the Year, and essayist Alyssa Trinko. Alyssa is a 7th grader at Independence Junior High School in Palos Hills. Thanks. Let's give them a big round of applause. No, we can move to you. We have a note. Congratulations, Grandpa.
Oh, thank you.
Great job.
Yeah, for this to happen, for my granddaughter and I, and especially myself, and it being in my elite 80s is a tremendous honor. And myself to have my supporting cast with me is really great, you know, because it takes more than just the one. And to be able to write these things, because anyone could win this award that's dedicated to the family. And to teach discipline is probably one of the most important things we can do. Thank you.
Now Alyssa is going to read her essay. Testing.
What my grandfather means to me. Charm, wit, integrity, compassion, strength. These are only 5 of the many words I would use to describe my grandfather, Guilford Sprague. My grandpa means the world to me, and I do not know what I would do without him. He would do anything for me, and he has taught me so much. Without this man, I would be so lost. To begin with, my grandfather means the world to me because he would do anything for me. I know I can always count on him no matter what. Whenever I see him, he always tells me, if you need a friend, I'm yours to the end. These are not just a few words, he truly means it. I do not know if it is the look in his eye or his positive attitude, but my grandfather always makes me feel safe and alive. I know that he will protect me and the rest of my family like he has done ever since my mom was born. He does not judge or complain, yet he has lived a long and difficult life. Every day that goes by, I do not wish for anything better. My grandfather means so much to me. Furthermore, my grandfather has taught me so much, which is another reason why he means the world to me. From life lessons to little tricks no one else would think of, I learn something new every time I see him. He was an iron worker his whole life and worked on some of Chicago's beautiful skyscrapers that tower over the city to this day. Therefore, he is strong and bold and will never give up despite the obstacles along the way. He has taught me how to be a good person and handiwork that will be useful later in life. For example, tying knots, painting, how to use tools, and so on. My grandfather is a breath of fresh air, a ray of sunlight, a splash of cold water in the summertime. He absolutely means the whole wide world to me because he would do anything for me and has taught me all that I know. I feel so blessed that it brings tears to my eyes, knowing that I am the luckiest girl on earth to have him in my life. All the words in the dictionary are not enough to explain my love for my grandfather. You will never find anyone like my grandpa, I guarantee it.
Grandpa, I know that makes you feel pretty good, huh? Yeah, I'm sure it does. Got it? Okay. Thank you very much. Let's get Tony Hunter, please, if you will come up, and Ray Vasquez.
Okay, 2011 Stepfather of the Year. One of the runner-ups, I'd like to introduce Latrell Pigram. Essayist is Jabril Renown, second grader at St. Angela School in Chicago.
Second runner-up Stepfather of the Year is Donald Wagman. The essayist is Renee Jumper, a 12th grader at Plainfield High School. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Okay, and our 2011 Stepfather of the Year. It is my pleasure to introduce Kelly Baskin, essayist Takira Mack, 11th grader from Plainfield East High School in Plainfield. Congratulations. Come on up.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to say, pronounce my name Takira. All right. Okay. I'm a little nervous. Paternity tests may prove who a biological father is, but a paternity test does not decide whether a paternity test may prove who a biological father is, but a paternity test does not decide whether or not a man is willing to accept the responsibility of raising a child or even playing a role in a child's life. When men who accept their responsibilities and are willing to put their child's life and dreams before theirs deserve to be called a dad. Men who choose to leave a woman alone to raise a child are selfish, and in my eyes should only be known as a sperm donor, not a dad. Because any male can participate in the making of a child, but it takes a real man to help raise his child and guide it through life. Another man who deserves to be called a dad would be one who has no blood relation to a child, but looks past that and raises that child like his own. My dad is a prime example of a man who has no blood relation to me, but could care less and has been a huge part of my life. My dad came into my life when I was really young, and though I knew he wasn't my biological father, I never cared. because he loved me no matter what. A man who was willing to put aside his selfish ways and encourage his child to follow their dreams, while also teaching the child that nothing in life is easy, is how I describe my dad. When I was in 3rd grade, I decided that I wanted to play basketball. And my parents could have easily told me that I was too little or that I wasn't good enough, but they never did. My dad encouraged me to play and made sure that I knew that no matter what, my schoolwork came first. I remember my dad taking me outside and teaching me how to dribble. My dad believed in me more than I did. My favorite memory with my dad involving basketball would be him teaching me how to dribble behind my back at the Supercenter Walmart in the area. My dad not only taught me how to play basketball, but he also taught me the importance of an education, because without passing grades, I wouldn't be eligible to play, and without an education, you can't make it in life. Also, the memories I share with my dad, I am truly grateful for, because my biological father will never have the opportunity to affect my life like my dad does. My dad has been there when I didn't know who to go to or for advice, and also the moments when my mom just couldn't help me. For instance, growing up, I was always the light-skinned little girl in the family. My 2 sisters are a little darker than me, but my dad, he's light-skinned, so it was easier for us to bond. Though skin color may seem irrelevant to the importance of my dad, this was relevant because we initially had something to joke around about. Growing up, I was sensitive about being an outcast in my family, and my dad always knew how to make me happy because when I was sad. My dad is one man I am always going to respect because he came into my life and never left. In conclusion, though biologically we have no connection to one another, me and my dad will always be connected through love. My dad has been a huge factor in my life, and I'm completely grateful that he has looked past the fact that he wasn't my paternal father and took on the responsibility of assisting me in not only making sure I was fed at home, but also assisting my mom, raising me to be a strong, educated, and wonderful person inside and out. Without my daddy, I don't know how my life would be right now.
Congratulations to both of you. Thank you so much. And it kind of emphasizes how important dads are in the lives of everyone. And I see a lot of handkerchiefs going up to eyes out there in the audience, too. Well, is Steve Baskerville here? And I saw Dan Jiggins. If I could get Steve. Steve is there. So you come up. We will continue with our presentation for the finalist of Father of the Year.
Let me get this out of the way. The low tonight will be 59 degrees. And partly cloudy. There's no greater role than to be a father figure, or a grandfather. By the way, I'm a new grandfather. It's a whole new phase. And baby Andrew, he turned 1 on June 1st. So it is a wonderful, wonderful experience. You know what is even more wonderful or more meaningful is when you have a child, and that child wants the whole world to know how special he or she thinks you is, and that's what this celebration is all about. I want to introduce one of the runner-up Father of the Year. It is Greg Armamentos and essayist Kelsey Armamentos in the 4th grade, Frank C. Whiteley from Hoffman Estates.
I don't know if you noticed now, but Steve and I are related in terms of our family.
That's right.
But kind of strange to end up on the same podium together. I'm going to introduce Greg Hubbard as the runner-up Father of the Year. That's here, Nicole Hubbard. She's in the 8th grade at the Hill Middle School in Naperville. And we'd like for you to come on up and receive the plaque and pose for a picture. Congratulations. And by the way, this is Fred Franklin. I'm so silly with you guys. You guys are a bunch of fun. Grandfather Bill, he's out of this world. Structural iron worker, 87 years old, and got faster than I did out of the chair. Amazing. Steve, I'm going to hand it back over to you, buddy.
See, I didn't know you weren't kidding. We are cousins. Dan is my cousin. Yeah.
You learn something every day.
Did I mention that the high tomorrow is going to be 80? Very exciting moment, because I want to announce the 2011 Father of the Year. That person is John Kennard, essayist Bridget Kennard, first grade from Ridge Elementary School in Plainfield. Let's hear it for John and for Bridget. Our Father of the Year for 2011. Congratulations. Shall I read it for you? Want me to? It's a great essay. I think people would like to hear it. Right here.